Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of Simply Rye. I wanted to talk through another key demonstration of efficiency that I witnessed when I was abroad this winter. And as you know, there was snow in one of the countries that I visited this winter. And what I witnessed was something different from how we do things here in the States. And so it was a de-icing process, wherein you have vehicles that come in and salt the roads. But the difference was not so much the process of salting and melting the ice and snow for safety factors, but it was how they were stored and utilized. And this is a nationwide rollout process, whereas these bins, these containers are the same colors. The placement is very similar no matter where you are, which city or part of the country you are at. And so it's a very unified process, which is pretty incredible to have. And if you walk across someone, they understand what it's for and exactly the use. And so one of the thoughts that I had when I was educated on this process is there is so much trust built in on both sides. One, on the sides of the patrons, people living in the communities, knowing that these bins are going to be placed out there at a certain given time when it's appropriate, when before the first snowfall happens, and that they will continue to be refilled. And the second piece of the trust is also on the people administering the salt, knowing that those bins will not be moved, that they will not be emptied, and that they can trust that what contains in there is still salt and not other debris or things that might go in through. And so it really brought me to thinking about safety processes and how it can be translated universally, wherein you have to have a certain level of education, universal education at that point. And then two, the level of trust that needs to be instilled for this process to happen efficiently, effectively, and then also on an ongoing basis. So please cue to watch the video so that you can see kind of what the feel is like when you're driving down the street. And there's quite frequently where you'll actually see these bins. You see here the bins are yellow colored. They look like a hybrid between a mailbox and a public trash dispensing container. And it's about each block has one strategically placed so that it's easily accessible. And there's one coming up right here. So thanks again for watching. Those are just my key takeaways for making sure that processes can be implemented effectively. Education, trust, and continually making sure that we have good communication across multiple channels so that we understand if there's deviations that occur, say there's a sudden snowstorm and for this instance and your supply is quickly depleted, what's the way to communicate to make sure that that supply is repleted immediately? Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. And again, please subscribe and like the channel. Thank you so much.